little bit of like credit that you're supposed to be athletic and like your dad's a coach and there's all that. So that
Yes.
it has nothing to do with who you were as a person or character or right.
Off top, like initially, that's what people thought. Then they get to know you, like, oh, okay, they get to know who I truly am. Like even when I move in here, some of the people here knew who I was. Some of my closest friends, here in the district or here in town, they knew who I was, but they didn't know who I was. And one of them had no clue. He's not from here. He's like, Selmon. He's like, I don't. Okay.
Right.
And he just knows me for who I am. And he's heard the other things, like, oh, that's great. But if that wasn't who I like, if my last name wasn't Selmon, that doesn't change the relationship that we have. And that's what I've kind of worked towards. Right. They want to see, and also with that I carry not necessarily a chip on my shoulder, but being here in Claremore, there aren't very many of us. There's not very many. We're around, but there's not as many as, again, it's in Oklahoma, it's Claremore. Right. And with that and being in the position I am as being a coach and a teacher, I carry myself in a certain way and also, again, have my last name attached to it. People have certain expectations. They hold you to a higher level, but a higher standard. But I want to make sure that I'm trying to do things right for the younger, black youth coming up. And I've oftentimes in my classroom say, how many of you have had a black teacher up till now? And I'll get one or two hands come up. So, okay, here you are. And it's not an indictment on the district. I've asked, like, there's nobody applies. Like, well, there's other things we can do to make that happen. But I want to make sure that I leave a good legacy, and the other ones, other youths coming up, like, hey, not only is he a good teacher, he's a good person, and he happens to be black. I mean, I don't